Hey everybody, it's Ian the Off Kilter Crafter. I hope you're having a great day today. Today I'm going to be participating in the Art Sherpa ATC swap. I kind of slurred that together, but anyways, the Art Sherpa ATC swap. I'm going to participate here in January, and this month's theme is turning over a new leaf, or something close to that effect. And what better way to turn over a new leaf is than to use the Pantone color of the year for 2020, which is classic blue. So I'm kind of incorporating that color into my creation for this ATC, and I can't wait to show y'all how it came together. Don't forget, if you want to be a part of the Art Sherpa ATC swap group, you can check out all the information down in the description below. Head down there and check that out, and also check out the other participants of the Art Sherpa ATC design team and see what they created for this month. So lots of information down there. If you want to participate, it only costs a postage stamp if you want to go month to month. But if you want to go in and be a kind of like full-blown member, if you will, kind of where you can get all the months ahead of time and you don't have to send in the extra postage stamp and all that kind of stuff, you can join the ATC Art Sherpa swap by clicking the link down below and heading over to their website and checking all that out. I know it's a lot of information and you're just here for the project, so let's go ahead and get to it. So I have two different ink pads in front of me. They're actually Distress Oxide ink pads, but they are in Blueprint Sketch and Broken China. Now the reason I have two different colors in front of me is because the Pantone color of the year for 2020 is classic blue. And when I did my first video about classic blue and the Pantone color of the year, I used Blueprint Sketch. But I'm not 100% convinced that the color of the year is this exact color. It's kind of in between these two shades in a way. So I think overall, like, it doesn't matter all that much, and as long as you're using a darker blue, you are kind of pretty much embodying the color of the year. But I was just kind of debating with myself whether or not the Blueprint Sketch was close enough to the color of the year, so more than likely I'll end up using both of these colors for today's project. Now, to really get today's project started, I'm going to use a piece of acetate. I have a piece of packaging that I saved, and I'm going to use this to cut out a snowflake, so that way I can use some Nuvo embellishment mousse to add another layer onto my ATC. So we're going to be doing all of that, and to get started today, I'm going to go ahead and cut my piece of acetate using my Cricut machine, so that way I can get it all ready to be stenciled and used and all that kind of stuff. So that's going to be the first step for today, is throwing this into the Cricut. Well, not literally throwing it, but putting it into the Cricut and cutting out my snowflake shape. Okay, you can probably hear the Cricut running in the background. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and start working on the background of my ATC. I'm going to use my Distress Oxides in both Blueprint Sketch and Broken China to give it a kind of, hopefully, a pretty good texture for the background. I'm going to use some water and do kind of like my dipping technique. You'll see what it looks like as I go through it. I'm going to put on some music and we'll see how this background comes out. Alright, I think I got my background pretty much how I want it. It was pretty simple. As you saw, it was just a process of kind of dipping in one color and drying, and then dipping in the other color and drying, and just kind of keep moving back and forth between those two colors, and I really like how it came out. I had the colors kind of mix up here at the top. As you can see, my ink on the mat here is two-toned, and that's okay. Whenever you dip the dry ink into the wet ink, it will sometimes combine. Not a big deal. I actually really like how that came out, and when the two colors mixed, I think it looks wonderful. So I'm still waiting for my Cricut to finish cutting out the stencil, but I'm going to go ahead and clean up my workspace until that's done. Alright, so I have gotten this all cut out on my Cricut, and now I'm going to work on putting the Nuvo mousse onto it. I forgot the name for a second there. So what I'm going to do is just put a little tape on there, and then put this down where I think it should go. And I can never get it quite even, but that's okay, right? It doesn't really matter too much. I think it's gonna go down right there. And then I'm gonna use a little more tape. The Kent Oliver mat keeps from allowing my tape to stick really well, but I just need it well enough to stick down and hold this down while I work on it. All right, so that's gonna be close enough, sort of, maybe, we'll see. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my Nouveau paste or mousse or whatever you want to call it. I've added just a hair bit of water because right now it is like really clumpy and not so much moussey. It is more thick, and so you kind of have to mix the water in and get it a little more soft. And I am using one of the Art Sherpa's palette knives to kind of hopefully get this all mixed up. I don't want to like spray this everywhere, so I'm being very gentle and making sure I don't end up spreading this all over my craft table by mistake. All right, now that I've got this mixed up a little bit, I'm gonna take a little bit of it, maybe, we'll see. This is still kind of more goopy than it is like moussey, but anyways, we'll take a little bit of it and I'll spread it out onto my panel. And you kind of work this like frosting. You just kind of spread it across your piece or whatever you want to work with. And this is not going to be perfect because my stencil is kind of popping up off of the paper a little bit, but it's going to be okay. It'll be all right. All right, I think that's as good as it's going to get. I'm going to grab a baby wipe to wipe off my palette knife, and then I also need to clean off the stencil. Sorry, it's got a whole bunch of noise at the moment. But anyways, I'm going to get this all cleaned off because you don't want to leave the texture mousse on anything for too long, otherwise it will cause it to become permanent, basically. It will adhere to whatever you have it on and forever be stuck to that. So anyways, I'm gonna pull this up and reveal hopefully a beautiful snowflake underneath. Oh yeah, that's not bad at all. I think that came out quite nicely. All right, so now I'm gonna let that sit and dry. And everything is stuck together. All right, let me get this all taken care of. All right, here's the final piece. I love how it came out. I love this embellishment mousse from Nouveau. It's still wet, so I have to be careful, but I think it came out great, and I really like how this one looks. So it's been a lot of fun using the Pantone color of the year so far. I've already made one piece of artwork for a card, and now I'm making an ATC, and I hope to make some more art and projects and cards and whatever using that color, so come back next week and see what creation I create next week. I think that's gonna do it for today's video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, let YouTube know that you like my video, and then hopefully YouTube will share it out across YouTube land. Also guys, don't forget to get social with me and subscribe to my YouTube videos by clicking the subscribe button and checking out my social media links down in the description below. I hope everybody has a great day, and remember guys, normal's just a setting on the dryer. Bye!